Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to another video from T.W White Sons. Taken in part exchange only this morning. Here we have a Mazda 6 2 litre 165, that's the power output, sport nav, presented in Sonic Silver with the black leather interior. Now this car was not originally supplied by us from new, but we did supply it to its previous owner in 2020. He's very happy with the car, the brand, our level of service, and he's getting on a bit, and he wanted a smaller car with an automatic gearbox. So we were delighted to take this back in part exchange. It's done just over a little over 16,000 miles, and it's in a really lovely condition with a full service history, which I'll share with you when we get in the car. Now the gentleman's kept the car beautifully. He's maintained it very, very well. Last serviced in July. The car has, for example, all matching Bridgestone tyres. That kind of gives a good indication of how the car has been maintained, how it's been loved. Because a lot of people, they don't, you might go for the cheaper option, but they are the correct tyres for this vehicle. Now the Sonic Silver is a very forgiving colour. It always looks clean, but the car is clean today. We gave it a little clean just earlier on. I can't really see a blemish on the vehicle. It is very, very good indeed. Now, it's getting a bit dark here, even though it's only 4:10, so we'll just hurry this along and get in the car before we lose the light. But you've got an enormous boot there. The seats do fold down. Okay. If you do require a spare wheel, there is space for one, but as standard they don't. People rarely spec them. And you've got, look at that, enormous boot. Now, I have a dog, so unless I wanted to keep my dog on the seats, which I wouldn't want to because he molts too much, obviously it'll be a little bit cruel to put him in the boot, but if I didn't have the dog, this would suffice for me. I'd imagine you can get anything in there. And look at the legroom in this car. You've got the rear vents, you've got the ISOFIX anchorages on the two rear outer seats. The leather is pristine. Yeah, very nice car indeed. And these are one of my favourite models, and you'll know that if you've watched any of my previous videos. I always had these as company vehicles. But the sort of saloon car, estate car, is kind of a dying breed in the UK. We tend to have almost sort of followed the Americans in the SUV market. But I still think there is a place for these cars. I'll be sad to see cars like this go. I think they're very handsome. You've got electric seats. They're 6-way on the passenger, no, 8-way on the passenger seat, and 8-way in lumbar here. And you've also got memory. You've got 4 electric windows, and you can fold the wing mirrors in there as well. Oh, there's somebody revving up their engine. Right, so there you go, 16,095 miles. You've got keyless entry, keyless start, got 2 keys here. But here we go, look, so this car was PDI'd at the supplying dealer Lancaster Mazda in Birmingham. I don't think they're around anymore, I've not heard that name for a while. And then it had its first and second service at Johnson's Mazda. I think that's who took them over. And then it was bought, see, this car was bought by our buying department, situated over on Wintersells Road, where it was prepped at 7,951 miles, and then we've done the service after that at 11,368 over here at Alpington, where we sold it to the previous owner, and then look, in July at 14,822 miles. So the car's done about 1,200 miles since it's been serviced. So this car doesn't require a service, but we shall give it a 101-point check over, because this is will be a used approved car with a 12-month Mazda ZZ Plus used car warranty, and that's a comprehensive warranty. So please don't get it mistaken by one of these sort of 3-6 month car supermarket sort of independent warranties that I've had experience of in the past and really don't cover much. This is like the follow-on from the Mazda manufacturer's warranty, and it also includes 12 months roadside assistance, which is a comprehensive roadside assistance, which will, you know, have home start and European cover, etc. Not one of these policies where if you really want to use it, you end up having to upgrade it for it to be any good. Okay, so you've got your climate control here. This here is touchscreen. Okay, but once you start moving, it can only be operated by this human interface, which kind of makes sense, because once you get used to using this, it's a lot safer, and you won't be looking down to operate it. It's funny, it becomes second nature. Now on the apps page, you've got things like fuel economy. Now I accidentally reset the trip computer, and I intended on sharing the figure with you, and it was just under 42 miles per gallon at an average speed of 20 miles an hour. So this is an economical car. Now you might have seen SKYACTIV on the back of Mazdas, on adverts, etc. Now that's Mazda's sort of slogan for everything efficient about their vehicles, the way they're made, the way the gearboxes, the engines, the bodies are made. For example, you know, making them light but stronger, making the engines larger but more fuel efficient to give you better drivability. Now, for example, if you bought, and I'm not knocking other brands here because we do sell these other brands as a part of our used car offering, but a lot of cars will have like 1.4 turbocharged engines in bodies this size. To me, it's just putting a lot of strain on a little engine, and it ends up having a bit of a hard life, which can turn into reliability issues, which I've heard about and experienced some of, but please do your own research. But what Mazda did, they said, look, we're going to make bigger engines. We're not going to put turbos on them, bigger engines, and we're going to make them more fuel efficient, which they have done so. Okay. Now, on this page here, you can actually have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto added up. Sorry, that's terrible what I just said, added up. You can have it upgraded to have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So you'll get that, they'll come up here. And then once you set your phone up, plug it in, you can navigate your phone apps through here safely. And then you can use Google Maps, Waze, Spotify, WhatsApp, etc, etc. Okay, so should you want that, that's a £300 option. That's pretty much cost price, and we can fit that before you collect the vehicle. For me, I'm pretty boring. And the DAB radio will do me. Now, if you're a sports fan, look, you can listen to Talk Sport with clarity, okay? But I'm sure that there is something for everybody on DAB from wherever in the world you're from, or what radio station you want to listen to, or whatever genre. I'm sure you can find it on here. I often stream things off YouTube from my phone, normally documentaries that I've fallen asleep watching the night before, obviously just listening to them. Once your phone is connected up, you can access your call lists, your phone book. If you have an Android phone, it will also notify you and give you the option to read your text message. The sat-nav system, very user-friendly. Yeah, I think we'd all just put a postcode in. Now you've got to remember with Mazda, always put a space in, so as the postcode's written, and off you go. Now, if you've watched any of my existing previous videos, you'd know I often say I've used this system, and I have used it to go to the Tatra Mountains, a place called Zakopane, where there's the world's, I think it's the biggest ski slope. Not that I went down it, I went in the summer, and it was absolutely fine, and I literally used sort of country, town, street name to navigate myself there. And then you've got other useful things. Look at this. Now, I used to search under restaurants, but because I'm always hungry. But look, fuel stations. Now, I don't know about you, but I have found that there is a massive range of fuel prices, sort of 10-15p a litre in some cases. Now here, look, it'll tell me our local garage is there, the Texaco, yeah, which we use. All right, they accept the BP card, which we have. It's 0.3 miles away, gives you the direction. Now you can connect this car to the internet by just connecting it to your phone via a Wi-Fi hotspot, and you'll also get fuel prices. So I think that's quite a useful thing, especially if you can save sort of 10p a litre. Okay, right, so moving on. Sat nav we've done, sorry, moving on. Oh my god, I'm making this look a lot more difficult than it is. Here we go, in settings. So you've got this heads-up display. It'll display your speed, your basic sat nav function, warnings, speed limits, etc. That can adjust, obviously depending on where you sit. Please don't attempt to adjust it by sort of pulling or pushing it. It will definitely break. So you adjust it there, and that will also adjust to your seat setting. You can also change the brightness, etc, etc. Okay, safety settings. You've got smart city braking, and you've got parking sensors. You've got a rear camera, and the rear camera has got the dynamic lines, which is why I'm so square on in this little parking space, which helps me do the photos. And then you've got the indicators here, front and rear. Okay, right, let's get back to this. So smart city braking, what that is, that's a system which, if you're doing under 20 miles an hour and there's no driver input, so you're not braking, accelerating, steering, okay, so the car thinks you're distracted, you're perhaps looking out the window, and when if your car is rolling, you know, you're in traffic, for example, it's rolling, the car in front stopped, you get too close, boom, it will apply the brakes. And not just for a car, but for a person, an object, etc. So very useful. But even if you know that you're never in that scenario, this is recognised by insurers. It gives the car a lower insurance grouping, therefore should reflect in your premium. So a safe car as well, and efficient when it comes to insure it. The sound system is Bose. It's amazing. Come down, I'll give you a demonstration. It's absolutely fantastic. Your clock is GPS synced, so no need to change that clock in the winter or in the summer. It's synced up with like 11 satellites or something. So a well-equipped, immaculate, low-mileage vehicle. Now there are a couple of little grazes on the wheels, which I'll have tended to in the next day or so. I want to mention a few things. So it does have the Mazda comprehensive years warranty, but we can extend the warranty for up to 3 years should you require it. Okay, we have full dealer facilities, finance facilities, obviously warranty we've mentioned. The car will go through the workshop, part exchange facility, and we extremely welcome part exchange regardless of what you have. Okay, now I know there's a lot of hype out there about putting your reg number in, get a price, get a better deal, etc, etc. Please do that. Have an idea of what your car's worth, but get in touch with us. You will get the best deal with a part exchange. Okay, we offer a fantastic, now I'd never have mentioned this a few months ago, we provide a fantastic ceramic coating service. And ceramic coatings, I must say, I'm a big fan of. I was never a fan of the older paint protection stuff. I didn't think it was that great, but the ceramic is amazing, hence the reason why I've applied it to a couple of my classic cars. I did it myself. I was sweating, my colleagues were laughing at me, but I do enjoy washing the car now and just looking at all that water beading off it, and it just they look great all the time. Okay, so if you'd like any further information on this vehicle, and should it be out of our normal business hours, don't let that stop you. Give us a call, leave us a voicemail. We shall try to come back to you, or drop us an email. Okay, we are really here to help, and we're a 7-day-a-week operation. All right, if you've not dealt with us before, please do check out our reviews. We have a lot of repeat business, but you know, we're always getting conquest business. But if you want to get an idea of who you're dealing with, do check out reviews. You'll get a good idea. Okay, so I think we've covered everything. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've certainly enjoyed doing it, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you. Bye bye.